Hello there, Bearcat Nation. Welcome to the Bearcat Sports Report. I'm Austin Legess. That's Brandon Phillips. Thanks for tuning in as we bring you this weekly show now here on the Bearcat Sports Network. We'll bring to you all the athletics that happened throughout the week. And beginning was our men's volleyball team, Brandon.
Yeah, first weekend of the inaugural season took place this past weekend. They opened up going 1-4 over the weekend. The historic win came in 4 sets against Dominican University. Leading the way, Malik Walker came in with 13 kills. Dustin Borenstein with 12, and adding 38 assists was Jack McLean.
Well, it was a great win for the men's, and we hope them and wish them the best of luck for all season. Heading over back to the hardwood on the women's side of things, women's basketball had a big homestand this past weekend. Wrapped up that 4-game homestand Saturday. That was against U of Indy in a tough loss. Started out, though, with a competitive 25th-ranked Lewis Flyers who came to town. They fell on that one 76-62 after a very competitive second half. Next came the Rangers of UW Parkside in what was another 10-point loss in the game that had 12 lead changes until the Bearcats lost in a final outcome. Next, the Lady Bearcats welcomed the Pumas to St. Joseph College, and the Bearcats led most of that game, which included a 15-3 run that started that second half. But after that, it was smooth sailing, Brandon, as Katie Ponce, from the junior from Edwardsville, led, who averaged 15.6 a game. She finished with 13. And you know what? Amber Alexander came off the bench with 5 assists on that win, Brandon.
You know, Amber Alexander's come off the bench most of the season. She's a freshman. She's starting to play well, a lot better. You can tell the improvement from the beginning of the season to now. And she's provided that spark that every coach needs off the bench.
That's exactly right, Brian. It's nice sometimes to have that 6th man off the bench that has really helped them out. After that, they welcomed, like we said, University of Indianapolis on Saturday, who came in 18th ranked. It was a big homestand with a bunch of ranked teams for the Bearcats.
Tough homestand, tough schedule as always in the GLVC, especially against University of Indianapolis, 18th ranked. And when they shoot nearly 70% from the floor, it makes it even that much more difficult.
Well, that's what it was, Brandon. 13 threes were nailed from outside the arc, and Katie Ponce put up a team-high 17, leading the way. Once again, Amber Alexander getting her stats in that with 10 boards and a season-high 6 assists. And also, we got a chance to meet up with Melissa Ringhausen and her 16th season as the Bearcats coach after the Lewis loss.
And we talked a lot about taking away Lewis's transition game, and they scored quite a few points on their transition, and we talked a lot about defending number 24, making sure that we fronted her and worked hard on her, and I think she got a lot of easy baskets that we needed to do a much better job on. Offensively, we didn't execute our offenses to the level that we needed to, and because of that, we had some turnovers and just some poor shots that we normally don't take. So that our first half was definitely not where it needed to be. I think second half we came back out and played a lot stronger. We put a zone defense on them, which seemed to bother them a little bit. And from that, I think we got some intensity, and we had some key players, some different players step up tonight, and I thought we did a good job with that. Well, I think our defense in the second half stepped up, and we did a much better job defending them. I also think second half we ran our offensive plays a lot better, getting different people open at different times, taking it to the basket, getting fouled, and going to the free throw line. And I think, we took away their transition game much better in the second half. So hopefully we can build on that. Well, I still think we just need to put 40 minutes of basketball together, and that's something that we have failed to do all season long. And we have moments of greatness, and then we have where we just implode and we don't play well for several minutes at a time. And we're working on trying to put everybody on the same page for 40 minutes and, putting 5 starters out there. And as we set people in off the bench, that we don't lose intensity, we continue to execute and do the things that we need to do, and we don't see a letdown. And putting 40 minutes of basketball together is ultimately what our goal is, and we definitely haven't done that yet.
Thanks, Coach. The women moved to 7-9 overall. They stand at 5th place in the East with a 2-6 conference record. They head on the road this week as they travel to Bellarmine and University of Southern Indiana. Check that out on the Bearcat Sports Network with Scott Cummings. We'll have the play-by-play for that. Well, the women had an impressive homestand. The men even had a better one as they started 5 games over at the Harry Statham Sports Center, Brandon.
Yeah, the Bearcats just wrapped up their 5-game homestand. Started off with a tough game against the 25th ranked Lewis Flyers. Arthur Williams put up a season-high 21 points as the Bearcats fell to the Flyers. They then welcomed in the 13-2 Rangers from Wisconsin Parkside, now ranked 18th in the latest NCAA Division II national poll. Another great battle for the Bearcats. They trailed by 14 early in the second half. Battled back, knocked down a couple threes, but fell just a little short in the end, 75-71. to the conference leading Rangers.
Our guys came out, played very well. We controlled the game a good portion of the time. So we improved a lot in our defensive play, and we put a lot of enthusiasm and intensity, I thought. Last half, they did a better job. They got the middle on us more, and we kind of broke down defense. But they're a veteran team and very well coached, and like you say, they're ranked, so it's tough to keep in those plays. We're still working in progress, and I've seen a lot of improvement. I think it was good for us tonight to get this far.
The Bearcats then bounced back to snap a 5-game losing streak, pulling out a 102-100 thriller in overtime against the University of Illinois Springfield. Bearcats trailed by 16 with just 10 minutes left in the game until they shaved the Prairie Star lead down and tied it as Clinton Hoppy hit a 24-footer to send the game into OT. Stepping up for the Bearcats along with Hoppy was Mike DeGregorio, finishing with a career-high 30 points. 18 coming from behind the three-point line. Mike Springs came off the bench and added 10 helpers. Hoppy finished with 23 points, making him the 48th member of the Bearcats to join the 1,000-point club at McKendree. The Bearcats ended the night shooting 50% from the field and 46% behind the arc, and then welcomed in the Pumas of St. Joe. Austin has a little more about that one.
Well, St. Joseph's had another opportunity for the Bearcats to win 2 in a row, Brandon, and that's exactly what they did. Came out picking up a strong 16-point lead thanks to 53 points in the lane, which we haven't quite seen a lot from the Bearcats. We've seen a lot of points against them in the lane, and they kind of worked that out tonight. Got a nice 102-91 win. Once again, the 2-game streak came, and we saw a big night from Holmes, who got his 5th double-double on the season with 26 points and 13 boards. Then Saturday, we saw them host the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds, coming in 16th ranked. We talked earlier about all those ranked teams. It's been a tough schedule so far for the Bearcats. Indy went on a quick 11-4 run. We've seen that lately, but the Bearcats have really come out strong in the second half, in which they did again. Trailed by 17 really early, cut it down to 6 in the later parts for them. Just came up shy, gave up a couple free throws that hurt them, a couple buckets here. U of Indy, a really great running team, but the Bearcats have really proven on this homestand that they could stay with them, Brandon. Leading the way in that U of Indy was Will Kirksey, 20 points. That was probably one of his biggest nights we've seen in the homestand. And even an interesting fact, the Bearcats are now 7-2 when scoring 80-plus points. So we've seen the more higher scoring, the better chance the Bearcats have of the win. And luckily, Coach Statham took a time out of his busy day to give us a little interview here in his 48th season.
Oh, I thought we played with intensity, and we had some really good teamwork and good chemistry. We're shooting free throws better, so that was good. Thought at times we played very good defense, but we had breakdowns, much of the time in the last half especially. But I like our enthusiasm and I think just keep their heads up, and watch the film a little bit and do a better job on defense. We had a few things that were glaring, the baseline drives, and they turn the corner down the middle, and sometimes we didn't show on the screens. Get that cleaned up a little better and keep on the boards. I think we had a good night's work and looking forward to the next ballgame.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. The men's basketball team improved to 8-8 overall, 2-6 in the conference, where they sit at 6th on the east side. Don't forget, both men and women travel to Bellarmine University and University of Southern Indiana this weekend. We'll be back at home the following weekend against Drury and Missouri S&T. You can check all those games out on the Bearcats Sports Network. Just visit mckbearcats.com and look for the multimedia tab.
And that wraps up the Hardwood Report. If you haven't heard by now, big news recently in the athletic department. 2 new sports will be introduced to McKendree next year. Fencing and powerlifting will make their debut next year. And I believe Austin has a special congratulations now.
Special congrats to Blake DeLong, the NCAA All-American, hit an NCAA provisional qualifying mark, winning the 3,000-meter run with a final time of 8:31.41. That was this past weekend at the Greyhound Classic at University of Indy. Congrats, Blake. Also, don't forget to tune in next week with us as we bring to you track and field and a little bit more in-depth on our men's and women's wrestling team. I'm Austin LeJess. That's Brandon Phillips. We hope you have a great week, and as always, go Bearcats.